Nebbiolo cluster, June and the 9th, Bricco Ambrogio vineyards.
I think you can feel how steep this vineyard is.
Look the size of this cluster, very promising. It's 2 weeks ahead of the normal schedule this year, but this is very promising. When you travel in Langa, some people ask why you are fit even if you eat agnolotti, carne cruda, and several kind of meat and make pasta every day. This is why. Hello everyone. When you come in Barolo, I think it's the most important things is to be in the vineyard and to walk the vineyards, to understand the beauty of this place and the major character and beside the people and the history. That's the landscape and the soil. So here we are on the Bricco Ambrogio hill, which is also one of the 2 single vineyard Barolo we produce. And from here I like to come here because even if it's not a very high hill, but it's very distinctive, and so you have a beautiful overview of all Barolo area. So we are in the zona of Barolo, which is South Piemonte, southwest of Piedmont, and this is I can consider one of the most historical and important wine region in Italy, and one of the most important for the Nebbiolo. And this is also a very lucky area, wine region, for a geographically point of view. We are on the south of Piemonte with more or less the same distance in between the Mediterranean Sea on the south, where usually the storm and the rain is coming, which is south-southwest. The Alp chain, which is on the west border with the France country, but is now here we are not a very high elevation, so not possible to see. And the Pianura Padana Valley, so the north flat part of Italy, which is in east direction. As you can see, the town of Alba there, and the little tower of Barbaresco up to the town of Alba on the east, and with the Tanaro River Valley. So from that area, from the east, this region of Barolo brings usually a warm microclimate. This is also why Bricco Ambrogio, which is very close to Alba, to Barbaresco, also has a little bit more influence of warm microclimate from there. From the west, so from the Alp chain, we got a fresh wind, a fresh influence of fresh wind, which impact mostly the west and the south and the southeast region, which is more directly connected with the Alps. And from the south also we have a higher area of hill, not cultivated to the vineyards like Barolo area, but also they provide lots of wind, usually from the sea, kind of warm wind. So this is a very unique situation that makes a microclimate we can consider very specific for growing grapes. So not only Nebbiolo, consider this area as a local and traditional historical grape like the Dolcetto, the Barbera, the Freisa, and white like Arneis, Nascetta. But it's not only about microclimate, actually, as all the famous and recognized wine region in the world. It's a combination of people that of course believe in the land, of microclimate and soil. So the soil in this area is very unique and very complex, and this is why an area like here 2000 hectares, which is more or less 5,000 acres, square acres, it gives very different wine from the same variety, which is Nebbiolo grape, very different expression and completely different soil terroir. So this Piemonte, as most of the north of Italy, used to be covered by a sea 15 million of years ago and before, and the identity of every hill in Barolo and the different terroir is an identity of different composition, of different stratification below the sea in the past, and so different hill went up from the sea, from the water, in different moment, and that means also different composition. So the oldest soil is on the east, where you can see Serralunga d'Alba, a little bit on the shadow with a tiny castle. The east coast is Serralunga d'Alba, very old soil, the oldest one, which is very complex, very characteristic. Then you cross and find the first valley in the Barolo area, which divides Serralunga to Castiglione Falletto and Monforte village, which means a little bit more center. And then the second valley, very important also, where you can find the village of Barolo, and divide Castiglione Falletto and Monforte village to the west coast, so La Morra and the Novello, and coming also in this north part, which is where we are now, single vineyard Bricco Ambrogio of the Rodi village, and the Verduno, which is just behind this hill. So the authenticity of the single hill makes also the beauty of this region. So our winery, Bruno Grimaldi, it is located in Grinzane Cavour, which is a north village, very important for the history of Barolo. The castle is UNESCO World Heritage, and our winery was born and still located there. And we are here because this is one of the 2 single vineyard Barolo we produce in our small family production, and it is produced every year side by side to another single vineyard, which is completely different terroir, which is southeast corner of Barolo area, because now we are on the north part border, and there is southeast Serralunga d'Alba, higher elevation than here. So here is very steep, very light, get a lot of light this hill. It's a beautiful spot, usually one of the first vineyard we picked every year, because the warm microclimate also provide more ripening, early ripening grapes. And the second single vineyard is Badarina, which is up on the hill, higher elevation, southeast and east facing exposure, and the soil of Serralunga, which always need more time and more day of ripening, and always impact the wine in a different kind of freshness, minerality. Here we always have a Barolo Bricco Ambrogio which is more fruit forward. So if you consider that it's more or less 5 miles away, same variety, but it changed completely the character in the wine. It changed 1 week, 2 weeks the date of the harvest. So this we consider for our winery, for our property, for our own vineyard, a beautiful way to express our land, our territory. And these 2 wines are always produced together with the Barolo Classico, which is Barolo Camilla, which it is produced with a little part of Bricco Ambrogio in Badarina, but mostly with vineyard in Grinzane Cavour, and on the west, Solamorra. This here, it is starting as an early vintage, 2 weeks. We are 2 weeks ahead of the schedule, but the quality is beautiful. We start with the dry season, dry winter, but now May provided a good amount of rain, and June is supposed to be also quite rainy and sunny. So this is important for stock the water in the soil for the harvest.